Okay, let's have a look at the PadSynth in Caustic 3. The PadSynth, as its name implies, is good for pad sounds, drones, new agey kind of stuff where we want wispy, airy sounds. So it's very good at that. It works a bit like the drawbar organ, where we specify harmonics to play and that creates our sound, except rather than just a few harmonics, we have a full table to choose from. So, and the way we interact with it is we draw inside this table. So each line in this table represents our harmonic. So if we start with something very simple and then add harmonics to it, and of course the height of the bar represents the amplitude of the harmonic that we want to put in. So it's very good for quickly drawing what you want. Now it's not just a simple additive synth. There's this extra line here which kind of smears each harmonic next to its neighbors. So the smearing gives a bit of a chorusing effect, and it's quite pleasant for pad sounds. So if we start with barely any smearing, we get a more metallic sound. And if we raise it all the way up, so even with the same harmonic configuration, there's quite a range of sounds you can produce using the width control. The synth has two harmonic tables, and you can switch between them by pressing this button. And instead of filling in this harmonic table, we're going to skip to the control section here and set everything up. So inside the control section, we've got 4 sections, 2 LFOs, a morph section, and volume. So very quickly, volume is similar to something like you'd have in any other synth. You've got a volume envelope, plus you've got a gain control for each one of the harmonic tables. So right away, let's set this up more like a pad where we've got a bit of a slow attack and a very long release. And this synth sounds really good with reverb and delay in most cases. So I'll just add those right now and it'll make the demo a bit more impressive. So the basic use is you configure your harmonics table to create the sound you want. Let's say we want kind of a vocal sound, a bit like a choir sound. We do something like this. And if you want, you can use harmonic table 2. So let's set harmonic table 2 up with something a lot simpler. And now if we play it, we'll still hear harmonic table 1. That's because our morph control isn't set. So the simple case of the morph, you can either just blend between the two or use an envelope that follows the duration of the note to follow the morph parameter. So for now, let's disable the envelope and just stick with the blend value. So if I blend all the way here, this is playing harmonic table 2. And if I blend that back, we'll see harmonic table 1. So if you wanted to start at one table, blend to the other, and then fade back, you can use the envelope to get that blending. So in this case, I'd probably want the harmonic tables to swap out and kind of have the purer sound at the beginning and the more chorusy vocal sound midway through the envelope as the note is held. So what I can do is I can go to one of these tables and press the swap button, and that'll swap the values in the tables. So now when I go to my morph envelope, if you're working on one table and you want to use the content of the other table as a starting point, you can use the copy button, and that'll bring in the content of the other one. So if you just want to modify it slightly, you can use the copy button. There's 2 LFOs, and each one can be assigned to a different target. So for example, if we, let's say, disable the morph envelope again. So right now we're just hearing harmonic table 2, and let's set harmonic 1 up to something simple again. So maybe we want to morph between them using an LFO. So we'll select morph as the LFO target, set the rate to quite low, and bring up depth, and we'll hear this knob being modulated by the LFO. Now the phase knob, like in other LFOs, basically changes how it syncs up to the beginning of the beat. So if you're finding your LFO is not syncing to the point where you want, play with phase, and that'll bring the cycle back in phase with the beginning of your beat or wherever you want it to time with. LFO2 is the same as LFO1, has the same targets, but you can use it on something different if you want to use pitch or volume. Another example of what we could do is if we start from a default preset again. We'll just set up a few harmonics on table 2, and if we listen to that, we get, let's make it a little bit more metallic. And so for table 1, we'll make something more breathy, and we'll use the morph envelope to quickly go from table 2, which is at 100%, and decay down to 0, which would be table 1. That will give us a bit of a bell sound, where first we'll be hearing these few harmonics settling into more lush. So like all the other synths, once you've got your knobs and your configuration set up the way you like it, press the disk icon, save it out to a new preset, press done, that'll appear in your list. Now you've got a few presets that come with it, so you can try those out if you're just looking for sounds to try out right away. But remember, reverb and delay are your friends with this synth.